South Africa belongs to all who live in it, so says the country's constitution. But the communities in Driefontein, Mpumalanga say this could not be further from the truth.
You're a policeman. Tell him to leave. Let him leave now.
The community demands answers following a string of violence incidents and human rights abuses they say are racially motivated. Last week we brought you part 1 of this series, the harrowing story of the Twala family whose son is on the run after he was brutally attacked along with his brother and their friend who both died. The bodies were found in the yard of a local farmer accused of being behind the attack along with his alleged hitman.
Ngikoni manje ubuyele ekhaya labantu laba abenza lento abasilimaza basengabantu abangaphandle.
This week, we bring you more accounts of violence and human rights abuses allegedly at the hands of a local farmer who is working free, despite the litany of accusations against him.
Ungamshaya kanjani umuntu ongakwazi ukukhuluma ongezwa umsebenzisa kanjani iplazi umuntu ongakwazi ukukhuluma ongezwa ongakwazi ngisho ukumnika umhlambo ongahanani
esekumsebenzele izinto eziningi 57 years uthi kusuka lapho uza asawuphinda anginike imali angizange vele ngigene ngihola ngase ngiyayeka ukusebenza.
In order to ensure security for all in the rural areas, including the farmers, government will start in the near future to phase out the National Defence Force commandos, at the same time as we create in their place a new system whose composition and ethos accord with the requirements of all rural communities.
In a 2003 State of the Nation address, a welcome announcement was made for farm workers in the Mpumalanga area who had been subjected to violence and torture under the notorious Vakastrom commandos, army reserve units that originated in the Boer War. Before being phased out, residents said the commandos were used by local farmers since 1994 to mete out a reign of terror against farm workers.
On the third occasion, they shot me. They then told me to come out of the house, and they shot me again. They burnt my house. When I moved outside, I found people with guns, and my house was burnt to ashes.
Their testimonies, many of which never saw justice, are contained in a 2001 Human Rights Watch report. But it seems the more things change, the more they stay the same. Locals at the Pampoenkraal, part of Driefontein farm near Piet Retief, say they continue to suffer commando-style attacks. They say in their battle to regain ownership of their land, they also battle for their human and labor rights. Fed up with their complaints landing on deaf ears, the community has taken to protesting to express their unhappiness.
Esekumsebenzele izinto eziningi 57 years tot manje nathi yena angiphuli inkomo ngithi akangimela ngifuna akavume uthi kusuka lapho uza asawuphinda anginike imali sengizama nabo 5 ukuthi inkomo ziyafa le inkomo ebulawayo ngoba isukela ekhaya phila phose ngikume emva kwento vele ngifika vele vile.
In terms of the law, farmers can restrict the number of cows that labor tenants can own. At Driefontein, residents are allowed a restricted number of cattle. They have to pay for each cow, and some are not allowed to plant their own crops. The fees for cattle fluctuate and are deducted from workers' monthly wages, though not all workers earn salaries.
Ngenye inyanga athi ngumthola u2000 noma no50 kwengasikhathi kuthiwa manje ke imali idonsiwe idlela izinkomo kube 1000 nemali noma 500 kodwa ngingakhulumi lutho ngokuloko. Next le nkomo ngizingisiza ngiyayithengisa le nkomo ngilime ngazo nje ubona le track elilapha manje namhla nginayo imali sengikhande ikwelede eziningi uzokuthi ngenzela ukuthi ngilimele abantwana badle.
Now, 17 have died. His dreams of expanding his head were dashed, and he feels powerless to do anything about it.
Ngiyacela ukuthi lenkomo zami lo mnumzana akangivugisele inkomo zami ngoba inkomo zami zibulawa nguye. Bathena bamtshela bathi lo mgqakazo msezawudla onalo umuthi wale kwakhe ekhaya wavuma. Kodwa manje namhla uyaphika ukuthi hayi akuzange yena kwenze lo. Ngathi sihleli kahle kusukeni phambili ngakafile inkomo. Manje ngase ke into inkinga ngase ngiyaduba ngiyayeka kamlungu ngathi ngisebenza. Ngenda ukuthi kufele inkomo zami. Ngathi ngisebenza kanjani wena ngimenzele kahle ukuthi ngimfakele imali kodwa yena nabulala inkomo zami kusho ukuthi akangifundi la eplaza.
Traveling the area, we had many similar statements to this. This community says they remain landless even though they own the land since the 1930s and were dispossessed by white farmers. Despite their many attempts to reclaim their land, they face imminent eviction.
Uthe eminyakeni noma ngasayikhumbula ukuthi mngakhe washona umkhulu wasala ubaba nogogo. Wathatha ugogo nobaba basebenzisa ihlathi bebageca nje ihlathi. Konke lokho bebakwenza ngezandla, balima ngezandla, bambambela lokhu bebambambela kona bathi wayethi mayengena emakhaya nilwili afike nanihlawulisa nithethe isicala thatha inkomo gcina afuye kanjalo. Bebalimisa ngeinkabi. Wathi mangabe eyekisa ugogo bebangaholi. Mayekisa ugogo wathatha ubaba na 11 years wamsebenzisa iplazi. Gogo kamsebenzisa iplazi angaholi. Ubaba uhole nje nami sengimdala sengiyintombi sengihlaniphile sengazi konke. Kuthe makusuka lapho asebahola leyo mali engatheni bathathwa bayiswa kwenye indawo bathi kaBibi bayothotharishwa khona bayoshaywa. And maye efika le ubaba asetotharishwa wafike wathi hayi lona senimshaye ngephutha lona uzongibophisa nongibophisa ezwa angithi usazi isimo sababa sokuthi vele akakwazi ukukhuluma ngithi akezwe. And ungamshaya kanjani umuntu ongakwazi ukukhuluma ongezwe? Umsebenzisa kanjani iplazi umuntu ongakwazi ukukhuluma ongezwe ongakwazi ngisho ukumnika umhlambo ongahanani? Kodwa la kule plazi leli umuntu uyanikezwa inkomo ezingango 500 kuthiwa ayigade zingafi zingaguli zingangeni edongweni. Ubaba njengoba angakwazi ukukhuluma uzokuzwa kanjani ukuthi uthini? Mase sekwenzekile konke lokho kwansi nje kwenzeka imistake kwaba khona inkomo efayo angeke azahole kwaba khona inkomo elahlekayo angeke azahole.
Farm residents say they earn their stay by working. If no one in the family works, they face eviction. Like this family, and if the elders are too old or incapacitated and cannot work, the farmer allegedly forces them to get their child to work for them. Many children have to drop out of school. Mam Kambule says she is dealing with this after losing her husband in 2016.
Umlungu bekade balimele bese emalini yabo lena baholela yona donse abhadare ukulima. Abayitshele cala isikhathi kuphelile ukuplantela ukuthi inani enizolibhadala lingaka. Asho isinqumo imali ngizodonsa ngemali engaka. Adonse zonke inyanga toti koze kuphele. Kwesinye isikhathi kuphele sekufanele kulinywe noma sekulinyiwe.
The police admit to cases of cattle poisoning. 3 suspects who were implicated by the community apparently denied their involvement to the police.
They have given us a first name. We've investigated that name through questioning that particular person. That particular person denied any involvement on the poisoning. Another name was also given to us. We have also done the same. But you would also understand that the community speak under a position of anonymity. They don't want their names to be known. A third person's name also came on board. We have done the very same thing. Now you've got 3 different names of people given by suspects given by different people.
The Driefontein farm featured in a 2001 Human Rights Watch report, which detailed the torture and evictions of farm workers since 1994. Recently, the Ntlabati family was attacked, allegedly by the same farmer, his stepson and others, including his employees who were carrying guns, accusing their son of stock theft. The matter has been referred to IPID after allegations that the police participated in the attack. After being brutalized, one of the victims was arrested instead of the perpetrators.
Kwabuya sabuya lo mntana oyintombazane asavuvukile nalo asimongweni ukuthi bese bamshaya laba ngezwe ukuthi hayi labafana sebabashayile babenza yonke into. Hey, angazi ukuthi ngenza njani, angazi ukuthi ngenzekani, angazi. Waphela njengoba ngisho ukuthi kufuna baboshwe ngomthetho wakhona, kufanele ukuthi umthetho udlala indima yawo. Nangabe kungenzeki lokho njengoba abelungu vele isikhathi esiningi ababoshwa abelungu. Umlungu ngathi uboshiwe aphume kusasa lokusayo. Okungcono ukuthi bangihlawule futhi ngathi ngiyovula nenakho ngane protection order bangavuma ukuyenza repetitive. Ukuthi bangasasondela abelungu lakhe. Manje bangavuma la repetitive bathi ngcono ubivulwa ilabantwana abashayi. Kodwa labantu bangene ekhaya la ngashiwa khona ngibaba.
Last week we profiled the case of 3 victims who were brutally assaulted for traveling on this public road, after which the surviving witness alleges they were also accused for stealing sheep, which were planted in their car. 2 people died, and the witness implicated local farmers and their employees.
Phela kona kwabe sitele izinto emakhaleni ezenza ukuthi ungakhona ukuphefumula. Angazi nje ukuthi chemical bani ngaphandle kwama even ama pepper spray lo babe spare ngisho emehlweni uzinhliziyo ishaya kancane manje nje vele even sengilapha emotweni vele nje ngumuntu kwase nje kunenhliziyo yabo shaye kancane nje ngangathi nje kahle kahle sekho nje.
Akwasimangaza kakhulu ukuthi amaphoyisa ahluleke ukubopha ngesikhathi umuntu osindile kulento esho ukuthi naba abantu abashayela azange abophe umuntu. Ekugcineni azolethelwa abantu umlungu bakholwa lokho bona ukuthi kithi kubonakala njenge arrangement yayenziwe kwathathwa abantu okungebona ngezivumelwano sokuthi bazolala usuku olulodwa ngoba phela azange bavele ngisho ukuvela enkantolo.
The police says the decision to enroll the matter in court rests with the prosecutors and not with them.
They were not brought to the police station by another suspect, but they were brought to the police station by the attorney who's representing them. So we have got those statements that are saying we are the suspects on this matter. So we have arrested them and we have taken them to court.
5 months after the crime was committed, the suspects are still walking free, despite having confessed to the murder and spending a night in jail. Are the interests of society, the victims and their families being served when these suspects have not appeared in court and are not in prison? We asked the National Prosecuting Authority to clarify, but our email is yet to be responded to. The community says, although the surviving witness implicated both the farmer and their employees, only their employees were subjected to the identity parade. The police say they were told to consult the suspect's lawyer to arrange the parade, but faced delays.
We have contacted the lawyer, and of course there was a date set so that we can go and conduct this particular ID parade. On that day, the lawyer told us that he could not get his clients. The second time around, again, the same thing happened. But it was very strange because we know the suspects, we see them. but we cannot access them because the lawyer is actually part of the instruction that will have to go via him. Then the third time, he started now, not responding to our calls.
The date on which the parade was conducted was agreed on with the farmer's lawyer, but some participants didn't show up. At some point, the Twala family lodged the complaint against the investigation officer regarding the manner in which the case was handled, and he was removed from the case. Before his removal, he was seen meeting one of the murder suspects, holding what looks like a case docket. The suspect initially denied that he had met the investigating officer. We have concealed his face as he is yet to plead in court.
Ukhona umsearch osesha lecala leli uyamazi yena? Awumazi. Igama lakho ubani? Lesasikhathi kodwa nje ayikho into ayikhuluma nami neyena. Awukaze wahlangana naye? Cha, vele semabola kudala nami abangihlupha indaba nje ngashaywa ngabantu mina. Abantu bangimopha for kodwa selaphela. Akuwena lo phakathi emotweni. Awulikhumbuli nje lo suku.
If ever somebody is in possession of such a photo or a picture, it is welcomed so that we can be able to investigate the relationship between the police as well as the suspect.
On the 10th of December last year, the community took to the street to protest their ill treatment by the farmers in the area.
Public roads, public roads. Government. And azange kuye size kulabantu. Size kulabantu azange kuye.
We want to deliver this demand of the people that are living in this area. We write it as this since 1994. This community of Pampunskral never enjoyed the fruit of the freedom from the democracy country. One might still say they are left in the old apartheid South Africa. And his colleague or associate hitmen are violating the basic fundamental right of the people residing in the community. They don't respect the constitution of the South Africa. We are demanding the respect and the dignity. We are human beings and therefore demanding proper respect. 2, grazing land or fish, safety land for a local livestock to grazing. 3, farming land. Local residents should be granted for farming. 4, clean water. We want the farm owner to allow the municipality to intervene in a water and a sanitation service. 5, electricity. We want owner to make a letter of authorization for electricity in the area. 5, 6, the individual poison the cattle to be paid. 7, removal of the farm management and his squad. The people that are hit squad, the first leading the commander of the hit squad. We're asking a report back of this demand after 14 days, as from today.
The alleged perpetrator refused to respond to the allegations made against him and his stepson. We are unable to identify them as they are yet to be charged or appear in court.
No. What's wrong? No. Please, wait for us outside. You speak to the police. Wait outside, please. Captain Kwebu, Captain Kwebu, laba bantu ngicela ukuthi baphume ngaphandle, please. Please, cela kanjani. But
I don't know the
SABC.
Stop recording me, sir.
Okay.
It's my right.
Yeah,
it's my right.
Your right.
Yeah.
Just one thing to you, ne?
No.
That
Stop recording me, sir.
Okay.
Do you know about the 3 guys who were killed in your farm? The 2 guys and 1 survivor. Do you know about them? Do you know about the cows? That allegation says that you poisoned them. Do you want to speak on that, sir?
Tell him to leave. Let him leave now.
Recently, the Departments of Rural Development and Land Reform, as well as the police and the Department of Labor, met to discuss the community's complaints and confirm the majority of their allegations following inspections.
We agreed that we need to appoint a lawyer who will deal with the 3 issues that we have identified. One is to declare the 41 applicants, labor tenant applicants, through the court process to be declared labor tenant. Secondly is to stop the abuse and make sure that all the processes that is applied by the landowner should be followed in terms of ESTA. Thirdly, we agreed that the lawyer should communicate with the SAPS to make sure and finalize and find out whether indeed the owner is involved in terms of poisoning. If he's involved, our lawyer should make sure that he claim compensation for all those livestock that were poisoned by the landowner. And from that point, we will still go on with the process in terms of the Section 16 of the Labor Tenant Act, which are the processes to make sure that we buy that land for those 41 families and transfer the land to the 41 families.
We established non-compliance with regards to the basic condition of employment. Employer was given a time frame for a corrective action to comply with our findings. A compliance order was issued because some of our findings was lack of contracts, pay slip, and some illegal deductions, against the employees with livestock on the farm. They were deducted for grazing for livestock. And we engaged the employer. We advised the employer to cease that, deduction. So it means it needs to come to a stop because it was illegal. He will need to develop a contractual agreement with the affected parties, a separate agreement from their employment contract. And the employer agreed to stop those, to cease those illegal deductions.
The department says at the time of inspection, they didn't find evidence of child labor and is mindful employers can hide illegal activity when they are aware of looming inspections. The Mpumalanga Agriculture Union says it subscribes to the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. Where members are involved, they investigate and facilitate discussion, and violations should be dealt with by the relevant authorities.